Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, and this is my post-market wrap-up on this Friday, July 24th, 2020. People, let me just start off with this. I don't want to talk about the markets for a second. I want to say how much I appreciate all of you. That's really the truth. I can't stress that enough to you. I feel that we are all, a big family. And in truth, that's what we really are. We're not each other's enemies, despite what the propagandists and the false narratives try to make you believe. We are a family, a human family, and we really do need to embrace that. It's just so important. So many things will change if we stop allowing ourselves to fall into the trap of being mind controlled by the media, by the politicians, by those who have a terrible, terrible agenda. Okay, that's really the truth. And when I say to you all, and I say it all the time, that I love you from the heart, I mean that. I mean it completely. All right, now with that said, let's get back to work a little bit. What happened? Despite the increasing rhetoric, the saber rattling, the abysmal relationship right now between China and the United States, stocks fell, but not by much at all. And if you know me, if you know my work, you know for a fact that's not really what I was paying attention to today. I did buy two positions. Intel was getting cratered this morning. I bought it, turned into a nice little day trade for me. I made 15% in about an hour. I did buy Caterpillar. Again, if you subscribe to my newsletter, there's a link in the description of this video. It's 100% free. I don't ask for a thing, okay? You know exactly what I do every day, where I'm moving money around every day, how I'm playing this market every single day. I cannot possibly imagine a guy who's trying to level the playing field for you more than I do. I'm telling you exactly what positions I'm buying, when I'm buying them in real time. When I sell them, when you should be adding to them, finessing them, it's all there. I mean, do you know what people would pay for this? If I were to sell this kind of information, it would be astonishing. I mean, some stock pickers charge $1,000 a month to belong to their newsletter. Some are $1,200. I mean, it's insane. I am more than certain you could find some that are cheaper, but I can't imagine they're any good. You get what you pay for in life. And to me, because of the fact that we are all responsible for each other, I have no problem whatsoever sharing my work, all of it, with you for free. And I just hope you capitalize on that. Speaking of capitalizing on that, gold and silver are still on some kind of an skyrocket to the moon run here. Record high for gold. Look, we haven't seen anything yet with regard to the price action of these assets. Physical gold and silver via the derivative, people, I've explained this to you since time immemorial, are so unbelievably suppressed. I mean, via the banks. We know who's doing it. I outline it all the time. This is JP Morgan. They are rigging the price of metals. They've been doing it forever, and they never get in any trouble. Goldman Sachs just had to pay a multi-billion-dollar fine because of some corruption scandal that they're involved in. But it still strikes me. Where are the arrests? Where are the arrests? If you or me were to do a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what these mega banks do illegally and get away scot-free, you and I would end up in jail for life. For life! That should tell you something. I always explain to you that it's the banks that run the show. They run the world. They can do anything they want to at any moment. They they just don't get in trouble for it. Whether it's metals rigging, whether it's rigging of the markets, LIBOR, it does not matter. They can do anything. Says a lot to me. I think that should say a lot to you. So look, let's talk about these markets real quick. And I'm going to give you a heads up here. I predict Monday will be a rebound for this market. Now, why would Greg say that? Again, I'm not sitting here staring at the Dow Jones Industrial Average like the mainstream channels. Look at the Dow. Look at the Dow. Look at the Dow. You know, it's all about the Dow. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is 30 companies. That's it. You don't even want you to pay attention to the broader index, the S&P 500. No. It's about the 30 companies because you must keep your eyes glued on something. No, it's a distraction. If you know where to look, you can predict where the market's going to go with an insane degree of accuracy. What am I talking about? The dollar today got decimated yet again. No knee-jerk here. No knee-jerk into the safety of the U.S. dollar. Yeah, you would see that when there's actual real fear in this market. The 10-year yield, yeah, it's lousy at 0.58, but it's stable. On my website, right down here, traderschoice.net, I posted, or it's there right now, a chart. It's going to be there permanently, a market dynamics chart. It could not be more clear. There's a red line, there's a green line, and then right on top of each, it tells you what you should be looking for to make predictions on the market based on dynamics. I mean, this is what I do. All I do, okay? So take advantage of my website. I don't understand, it's free. I don't charge anything for that either. Go there. There is so much useful information, so many free downloads for you. Just, utilize this all and make your life better. Look, this is a game here. This whole thing is a twisted freak show that goes beyond, and I mean freaking beyond. So why would anyone do nothing in this environment? Sit there still like a deer in the headlights when this whole thing is a rigged game, which is our strength. And because of that, we can capitalize on it. Look, if they can play their game, we're going to play ours. How many times have you heard me say that? And I can't stress that enough. It's not that hard. Honestly, if you've been stacking metals like I've been explaining since like forever, you're doing pretty darn good. If you've been holding on to cryptocurrencies like I've been explaining since like forever now as well, you've been doing pretty darn good. If you got in at Bitcoin 2,700 when I said to do it, it's over $9,000 right now. I would say that's a pretty nice gain. And you haven't seen anything yet either with regard to the cryptocurrencies as the dollar is being engineered to melt down. This is why they killed the global economy. This is why they have stopped economic activity to kill the money velocity, allowing the central banks to finish their game, to buy it all, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort. That's been their goal since day one. If we know the goal, if we know the end game, how can we possibly be beaten? You understand? So anyway, cryptocurrencies were flat today. Nothing major went on there. Like I just explained, gold and silver did go higher. The 10-year yield stable. Dollar got hit. That's the scenario here. And it could not be simpler. Stop focusing on where they want you to look. You understand? You can choose, really, at least you used to be able to choose your own destiny here in the United States. Right now, everything is dictated for you. And if you do not comply, well then, you're just public enemy number one. You can't use your own intellect. You can't think. You're not allowed to look at alternative views. It's their view or nothing. And what scares me is more and more people are buying it. They're buying right into it. It's, again, this goes back to what I've explained to you since forever. These shows on television, they're called programs. Why? Because they're programming your mind. You understand? If you allow that stuff to get into your head, you cannot think. That's the striking at your intellect. That's the third stage of tyranny. People, I've explained this to you. They take away your voice. They take away your ability to speak out against anything that is contrary to what they're trying to tell you is the truth. Listen to those words. What they're trying to tell you is the truth. Then they strike at your beliefs, things that you've held sacred, things that you really believe in. They strike at those, and God forbid if you were to speak out on those things. And then the third blow, the death blow, is where they strike at your intellect. You can't think. Most people don't want to think. Understand that. They want to be told what to think. Their brains are like sponges, okay? And it absorbs what they're hearing because in some ways it gives them a sense of, I guess, belonging or a sense of safety. They're incapable of thinking outside the box. And if they're confronted with someone who does think outside the box, what do? They lash out. Truth is the enemy. Truth is the enemy of most people. I think you know that. It messes with their mind because their entire life they've been fed lie after lie after lie. They don't know how to deal with it. So when you have the average person who from the moment they are born, literally, is hearing lies, being told lies, untruths, deceptions, and then you hit them with even the slightest bit of truth, they get triggered and they go off. I mean, how many of us, I think if you follow this blog, your eyes are wide open in many, many ways. I cover the markets. Honestly, let's be honest. I cover these markets, I think, better than anybody else. And I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit because my record is insane. My record is, frankly, frightening, okay? Not because I'm any smarter than you or anybody else, just because I study this 24/7. I get up in the middle of the night to whatever, and I'm out here, if I have a minute, looking at the market, studying the markets, watching the dynamics, what's happening here. How can I best allow all of you, tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of you all over the world, to understand that this is a game that you will not lose. Not on my watch. It will not happen. That is a responsibility to me that I take very, very seriously. Anyway, I think all of you understand it. You get it. The environment we are in is beyond twisted. It is very sick. It's sicker than any virus could ever be. The reality of where we are right now in this new America, if you sit and think about it, is frightening. There is no doubt about it. But that does not mean that for 1 second you should lay down and let yourself be fleeced or just surrender. Forget about surrendering. You're never going to surrender to any of this, any of the propaganda, any of the lies. If one of these zombified people out here is trying to fist feed you or regurgitate, literally freaking vomit up the truths that they're hearing being propagated by politicians, by the mainstream media, then they want you to buy it. Something tells me that's not going to be you. All right, look. So let's watch this thing play out. Let me just say this. The way the market is right now, based on the dollar getting hit today, based on the 10-year yield stable, if this maintains where we are, this market is going up on Monday. If indeed the rhetoric gets worse, the threats get worse, or something else happens, of course that'll be stock market negative. And what would you do? You would look at what the dollar is doing. You would look at what the 10-year yield is doing. These two things are the key. The 10-year yield is the key. The secondary key is the dollar. All right. If you watch these two metrics, understand what's happening here, and look at that market dynamics chart, because it's all there right on my website, traderschoice.net. It says market dynamics chart. It's a beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. You will be light years ahead of anyone else with regard to this market, just by understanding that little silly market dynamics chart. That's all for you. All right, people, look, kind of a long video. I'm going to ask you to share it. Please get it out there. I will see all of you Sunday for my markets to look ahead when we get some more information here, and I'll give you a better idea of what we can be looking forward to come next week. If you are one of my lions or one of my followers on my newsletter, link down here. Here's another clue for you. You already have an idea about this. Anyway, people, it is Friday, and you know what I'm going to do, and we're going to do this together. I really want you to clear your head for a moment. I want you to meditate on what I'm about to tell you, okay? Because or what I'm going to say, and you know what I'm going to say. It's just so important. Are you ready? Here we go. Love each other, care about each other, and be charitable. I really want you to embrace these three things every day of your life. It will not only benefit you, but it will benefit everybody else too. I mean, it's a win-win. Love you a lot. Please share the video. See you Sunday.